Hello. Today I'm going to need you to have a chair nearby. We'll use it later on. Let's start laying down on your back and we're going to do your breathing warm up down there. Let's not even call it a warm up. Your focused breathing to bring your attention into your body. Lay with your knees bent and a little space in between your feet. And place your hands so that they're covering your lowest ribs, the floating ones that exist where your breastbone ends. Overlap your fingertips a little bit so that your hands look like a closed zipper. Now I want you to tune in to the rhythm of your breath, inhaling through your nose and then exhaling through your mouth like you blow out a candle. When you breathe in, take the breath deep into your lungs and feel your ribs expanding. Your hands will start to separate like the zipper's opening. Then when you exhale, feel the ribs gathering together to blow the air out, and your fingertips will overlap a little more again. As you breathe in, try to focus some of the breath into your back, so you can observe the back of the ribs expanding just like the front. And then as you exhale, feel the sides gather together, and just see if you notice any sensation deep in your abdominal wall. One more time, nice big breath in. Looking for that three-dimensional expansion to move your diaphragm. And then as you blow the air out, we want to create an awareness of the pelvic floor lifting and the abdominal muscles compressing. Now let's bring your arms down by your side. We're going to keep working with your breathing rhythm, and let's just add imprint and release, a small pelvic tilt back and forth. Start out with your natural curve present underneath your low back, and you're going to stay there to take a breath in. When you exhale, tilt your pelvis slightly, rocking your pubic bone up, and the effect should be that your low back gets a little flatter towards the mat. When you breathe in, rock back to neutral, and as your pubic bone sinks, you'll feel a little curve come into your low back. Just play with that a few times. As you tilt your pelvis, the curve of your lower back gets flatter, and then as you rock back to neutral, the natural curve appears under the back. One more time. When you rock into imprint, your oblique abdominal muscles are shortening a little, and then they're elongating, they're lengthening as you go back to neutral. So now we're going to layer that small move into the bigger hip roll, because that tilt of the pelvis is how we start the spinal articulation. So arms come back down by your sides now. I guess yours never left. I'm the one gesturing all over the place. Take a breath in to prepare. When you exhale, begin to curl the pelvis again. This time, you're going to lift your tailbone and keep lifting up one vertebra at a time till you're at the lower part of your shoulder blades. Stay in your lift, take a nice big breath into your back, and then when you exhale, start to roll back down through your ribs, your low back, and your hips. Breathe in, rock back to neutral. Exhale, curl your hips off, and as you start to lift, reach your knees away from your shoulder. We're going to open up the front of the hip joint. Stay here and take a breath in. And then exhale to roll back down. Inhale, rock back to neutral. One more time. Exhale as you curl the pelvis up. Great, hold at the top, take a breath in, and then roll back down. Now I'm going to add another layer. I want to add a little stretch for your lats, one of the muscles that runs from your back up to your shoulder. As you exhale, curl your hips off. Once you've established your bridge, reach one arm over your head as you inhale. Exhale, roll back down through your spine. And then when you get all the way down, take an inhale and lower that arm. Exhale, curl your hips up. Create your bridge first. Take your other arm overhead when you breathe in, and then roll back down on the exhale breath. And then inhale to lower your arm. Let's do one more on each side. Curl the hips up on your exhale. Inhale to reach your arm overhead, and then roll down. You're going to stay moving along your midline, but observe how you feel a different stretch on each side of the ribs as we're pressing down into those lats. Inhale, lower your arm. One more time. Curl the pelvis off, roll up to that bridge, then reach your arm overhead, and exhale to roll back down, passing through your imprint, and then rocking back to neutral and lowering your arm. All right, I want you to flip over into kneeling on your hands and knees now. Okay, let's work with your toes curled underneath you. And we're going to start with a little weight shift. I want you to go forward so you're loading a lot of weight over your wrists, and then shift your weight back toward your heels. And you're going to stay in a range of motion that lets you keep your back neutral or flat, however you like to think about it. Right now you can use the segments of your head, your ribs, and your hips as the 3 points you're trying to keep in line. Let's do that 2 more times this way. And so I'm trying to load up my wrist just so I'm stretching all this tissue in my forearm. Now I'm going to turn my hands around so the fingertips are pointing towards me. And now that stretch I'm trying to create will happen as I shift my weight back. So you see I can't go very far. And then I'm going to come forward to actually take the pressure out of that forearm. So I'm going to shift back and forward. And just play with this a little bit. If you do type at a computer all day, this is probably a region that's pretty tight. But this will be helpful for the weight bearing we're about to do on your wrists. All right, come on back out of it. Let's flip your hands back to the usual way. All right, so now about those toes. I've got those curled under. I'm going to practice bringing the knees into a hover so that I'm supporting the weight of my body on my hands and my toes. Take a breath in. Put a little pressure into your fingertips, like you're trying to preload the weight forward into your arms. Now, as you pick your knees up, I want you to shift your weight back slightly so more weight's on your legs and your arms feel supported. Stay there for a breath in, and then exhale to place your knees back down. So let's keep doing that little shift. So I load up the fingertips, and then when I pick the knees up, I'm going to exhale and push with my hands to just shift back slightly. Stay there, breathe in. And exhale, place those knees down gently. One more time, just that. Breathe in. Now exhale, draw the abs in for support. Pick your knees up and shift the weight into your toes. Stay there, keep pressing away from the floor with your arms. Exhale, back down. All right, now let's make this a little more challenging. I'm going to have you practice picking up opposite arm and leg. Let me just turn to you for a second. Just tiny pickups. Let me do it with the leg like that. It doesn't work when you do the same side very well. Okay, let's get to your hover first. So fingertips again. Exhale, pick your knees up. Find that hovering pose. Stay there for a breath in. When you exhale, we're going to try to lift one foot and the opposite hand. Lower both back down. The smaller the lift is, the more challenging it is. And lower back down. And this is the type of exercise, you'll even notice as you watch me do it, it takes like a rep or two to figure out how you're going to balance. So you have to kind of sense the problem and then figure out the strategy. I'm also finding it's a lot harder to do it while talking. So that means your breath is important. Exhale, find compression. Just you sense where the center of your body is, and then you could pick your limbs up. You're going to have a little movement through the shoulder and hip as your body tries to figure out where to place that weight. One more on each side. Lift and hover, then lower back down, and lift to that small hover, and lower back down. Put your knees down, just do a little shift back. All right, now I'm going to turn to face you again just for a better angle of the exercise. Knees are going to stay down for this. We're going to still focus on balancing out with the opposite arm and leg. But now this time, as you exhale, you're going to lift one knee up to the side like a doggy on the fire hydrant move. Opposite arm out at shoulder height. And then lower both down. Now the other side. Take your leg up. Opposite arm reaches out. And lower back down. Side view. Exhale. Reach the two limbs out to the side. And inhale, lower. As you reach out, keep your wrist extended so you're pushing out through the heel of the hand. And lower back down. That's not necessary, but still good to stretch those forearms. And exhale away. And drop. Let's do 4 more. This exercise is pretty powerful to strengthen a part of your glutes that helps you to stabilize your SI joint. And lower back down, last 2. Exhale, reach out. Inhale, lower. One more time, reaching out to the side. And then lower back down. All right, from here, let's go down onto your side again, or onto the mat again, laying on your side. Knees tucked up into tabletop position. All right, top arm reaching forward at chest height. Let's just go through 3 rounds of spinal rotation. As you breathe in, lift your top arm above your shoulder, and then rotate your upper body back as you exhale. Let's stay here for a breath in. Take your time to breathe in so that we can expand the chest a little more, and exhale to lift your arm up and close back over. Breathe in as your top arm reaches to the ceiling. Rotate towards the back as you exhale, open up into the stretch. Stay here for a breath in, and then lift that arm, close back down. One more time. Breathe in as you reach up. Exhale as you rotate towards the back. Hold there, take a breath in to stay, and then exhale, lift your arm up and close back over. Place your hand on the mat in front of you for a little extra support. Now I'm going to have you take your legs back just a tiny bit so you have a slightly greater than 90-degree angle at your hip. Flex both of your feet, and we're going to make a big circle with your top leg. As you breathe in, you're going to circle your leg forward and up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, you're going to circle it back and down. Now, the goal of this exercise is to draw this circle without changing the alignment of your torso. So you want to keep your hips and your shoulders stacked up and use that hand for a little extra support like a kickstand. One more time, forward and up as you inhale, and exhale, back and down. Now reverse it. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. And again, swinging back, lifting the leg, and circling around. Try to keep a tiny bit of lift under the bottom side of your waist, and that's a great way to connect with that back part of the obliques to stabilize the hip. Last one. And then lower it back down. Great. All right, take your top hand behind your head. I'm going to have you lift your top leg up to hip height again. Now you're going to swing your leg forward. I'm sorry, not swing. That's not the right word. You're going to kick your leg forward like you're reaching into the screen. At the same time, I want you to rotate your upper body back like you did in your chest stretch. Now bend your knee again as you turn back onto your side. This time, you're going to kick your leg backwards into a slight extension and rotate forward. So I'm going to come through a tabletop, kick my leg forward and twist, bend the knee, kick it back, and I'm looking down to the floor. When I kick that foot forward, my foot's flexed and I'm looking up at the ceiling. Now I'm going to go to a pointed toe when I kick back and rotate to the ground. One more time like that, kicking forward and then pointing the toes and reaching back. All right, let's go on to the other side and repeat all those guys. Okie dokie. All right, first legs in tabletop. Reach your top arm forward at chest height. And let's do the spinal rotation. You're going to inhale as you lift your top arm to the ceiling. Then exhale as you rotate towards the back and open your chest. Let's stay here. Take a nice big breath in. Now lengthen your arm. Make the biggest rainbow up and over to close. And again, inhale, top arm reaches up. Rotate towards the back, compressing those deep abs as you twist. Stay here and breathe in. Feel your ribs open. Exhale, lift your arm, close back over. One more time. Inhale, top arm lifts up. Exhale, rotate towards the back. Hold here, take another breath in, and then lift your arm and close back over. All right, now that working arm becomes your kickstand arm. Just untuck your knees a little bit. All right, top leg tracing that circle. So both feet stay flexed for this one. As you breathe in, you're going to bring your leg forward and up to do half a circle. And then exhale as you swing it back and down. Breathe in as you begin to trace your circle, and exhale around and down. 3 more times. Breathe in up. And then circle to the back 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale around. Last one. Inhale up. And exhale around. Let's go backwards. Breathe in to go back and up. And then exhale forward and down. Inhale back and up. And exhale around to the front. 3 more times like this. And exhale. And 2. One more time like that. Inhale around and up. And exhale back down. Okay. So rotate that top hand behind your head so you get a little rotation going. Get your top leg up to tabletop. Now kick it forward towards the screen. Rotate your upper body back. Now bend the knee, let's twist forward, and extend the leg behind you. Inhale, bend your knee, kick it forward and twist. Exhale, pull those abs in, rotate towards the floor, kick back. Inhale, flexing the foot on that front kick. Go into the pointed toe as you kick back. Twice more, let your chest open to the ceiling. Exhale, pull your abs and twist and reach. Last one. Inhale, and then exhale, rotate back. All right, let's go back onto your back. All right, place your hands behind your head. We're going to go into a little bit of ab work here. Let's start with your feet down on the floor. Rock your pelvis a few times, like the imprint and release we did before, but now we're just kind of free forming it. Make your back flat, let a little curve into your back, And just feel that a couple times. I want you to work in neutral where you do have a slight curve under your low back. So pubic bone and hip bones about level with each other. Now let's just explore the crunch with your upper body. Take an inhale before you start. When you exhale, tip your chin down, curl your head and shoulders off the mat. You're going to come up till you're at the bottom tip of your shoulder blade. Then you're going to come back down on your inhale, dropping a bone at a time. Let's just feel that out again. Nod the chin, curl forward, slide your shoulder blades down, and then lower back down with control. Exhale, tip your chin down, flex forward. Inhale as you release. 2 more times like that. Exhale, curl up, and inhale, lower. Last one, flex forward, lower back down. All right, so that gave you X amount of ab work. Let's see how that intensifies when we also have the challenge of holding your legs in the air. So now I want you to take another exhale. This time, rock back into imprint and use the force of your breath to connect with your abs as you tilt your pelvis. Now stay in that slight tilt. Lift one leg up to tabletop when you breathe in. And then when you exhale, draw your abs in a little deeper and take up your second leg. All right, everything else stays the same with the crunch. Nod your chin, curl up your head and shoulders when you exhale so you're looking at your thighs. Inhale to lower back down. Exhale, tip your chin down, flex forward, look at the legs. Inhale as you return. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, lower. 2 more times, flex forward. And lower back down. 1 more time, flex forward. And lower back down. All right, we're going to make it a little bit tougher. This time, as we crunch up, we're going to add both of your legs straightening. If you go higher, they feel lighter. If you go lower, they feel heavier. Do whatever you want with that. All right, exhale, nod your chin, curl up your head and shoulders, extend your legs. Inhale, lower your head back down. And again, exhale, flex forward, reach away. Inhale as you return. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, lower. 2 more times, maintain that imprint and reach. Inhale back down. Last time. Exhale, flex forward. And inhale back down. All right, now I want to throw in one more. We're going to do scissors from the abs series. On this one, we're going to try to sustain the flexion of your upper body. Start with your legs in tabletop again. Nod your chin. Curl up your head and shoulders. And I'm sorry, I know it looks like I'm still holding my head. I'm trying to keep those headphones on. Place your hands behind your thighs for a sec. All right, you're going to extend both legs up to the ceiling. On your next exhale breath, drop one leg and bring the other one towards you. We're going to do a double pulse there. Inhale as you start to switch legs, reach for 2. You know, it's funny, I realized just now, more than halfway through this workout, that I didn't put a mat underneath me because I was afraid I was going to blend in with my black mat with these brown pants. But it never occurred to me I was just going to blend in with my brown floor. Thank goodness for the weird baby blue socks. And reach, and exhale. Let's do 4. And 3, 2, and 1. Both legs back up. Drop your head. Draw your knees into your chest. Just get a little squeezy. And release your feet back down. All right, I'm going to take off a layer. You're going to flip over onto your stomach. All right. When you get there, let's set your legs for now parallel and hip width apart. And we're going to start out just exploring lifting into an extension and just playing with some different loads that you're holding with your upper body. Keep your forearms pressing into the mat. When you breathe in, you're going to lift your head and your chest and draw your shoulder blades back and down until just one rib is left touching the mat. Then when you exhale, I want you to lower back down again, compressing your abs, dropping your ribs, your neck, and your head. And again, inhale, elongate the neck as you lift up. You want to gaze away from the end of your mat, pull those shoulder blades back, exhale, lower back down. One more time like that. Inhale, lift up, and exhale to lower. Now we're going to try the breaststroke arm motion, just one arm at a time. When you breathe in, go ahead and push yourself up to the top again. That's a great place to start. When you exhale, lower into a hover. This time, I'm going to have you reach one arm overhead. Now try to resist side bending when you go to that pose. As you inhale, circle the arm around to your hip, lifting into extension. 3 more on this side. Exhale, dive down, maintain the support with your other arm. Inhale, circle, float the chest up. Exhale. Focus on your breath. Sink those ribs down into the mat. Now breathe into your chest to help you lift. Last time. Exhale, dive down low. Inhale, circle, rise up. Bring that arm back down. Let's try the same thing with the other arm. As you exhale, take it low into that hover, reach your arm overhead. Inhale, circle the arm around to the hip. Exhale, pull your abs and dive back down. Inhale, circle, float up. 2 more times. Exhale, dive low to the mat. Inhale, circle and lift. Last time, dive it down, exhale. And inhale, around and back up. All right, both arms overhead. Turn your toes out and your heels in. Now we're going to go into swimming, but I'm going to ease you into it. So we're back to opposite arm and leg again. Stay in a hover with your upper back. When you exhale, lift one leg and the opposite arm up. So they're just in a hover 1 or 2 inches off the mat. Inhale, place them back down. Exhale, now try the opposite arm and leg combo. Inhale to lower. When you're picking your leg up, think of rotating the toes out more laterally. That'll help you fire the glutes. Lower down and exhale, lift. Inhale, return. Give me one more on each side. So we want a low lift that feels long, like your arm and leg are going to opposite walls. Lower back down and exhale, reach out. And lower back down. Now, if the full swimming is too challenging, just 2 more reps of that. Otherwise, we're going to hover it all and turn it into a fast flutter kick. Breathe in to prepare. Exhale. Rise into that hover. Float your arms and legs off. Flutter it out. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more breaths to go. 4, 5, and exhale. 4, 5, last 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach it all out long. Lower it back down. All right, from here, I'm going to have you sit back onto your heels into a shell stretch. All right. Round your spine and just stay there and let's breathe. Nice big inhale into your back. Hold here for an exhale. Pull your abs in. Relax your neck and your shoulders. Take one more breath in and then roll up into a sitting position. All right, from here, I'm going to have you sit with both of your legs stacked up on top of each other, and we're going to go into a side bend. So we got one more wrist-bearing opportunity. Spread your fingertips apart and line your hands up with your knees for this one. All right, so our mini move, I want you to play with shifting your ribs back and forth. This is the initiation of the motion, the shift, but it's also just a good mobility exercise, getting your shoulder blade to rotate up and just getting a little wiggle in your ribs. All right, so let's take that into the exercise. Press into your hands, start to push your ribs away from that stabilizing hand, lift your hips up, and we're going to side bend. Then inhale as you land it back down. Let's do it again. Exhale, up and over, drop your working shoulder away from the ear as your head falls towards it. Inhale, lower back down. And exhale, up and over to that side bend. Inhale as you return. 2 more times. Exhale to lift and reach. Inhale, back down. Last time. Exhale, up and over. And inhale to lower. All right, let's swing the legs around to the other side. Spread your fingertips. Hand in line with your knees. All right, other arms palm up. Wiggle and just get that shift going. When I do the shift, I feel like I'm pushing away with the heel of my hand and dropping that shoulder and then just jostle that. All right, let's make it real. Exhale, slide the shoulder down, shift your ribs, lift your hips, side bend. Inhale as you land it back down into the mat. And again, exhale, up and over. Inhale as you return. Exhale as you lift. Let your head fall towards that bottom shoulder. And inhale, return. 2 more times. Exhale, over. Inhale, lower. 1 more time. Exhale, side bend. And inhale, back down. All right, let's stand up. Chair. Okay. I want you to start with the seat of your chair. We're going to place your hands This is going to be a stretch that's a preparatory exercise for the standing work we're about to do. So you're going to place your hands on the seat of the chair, and you want to position your body so the weight of your hips is over your heels. Where your hamstrings attach to your sit bones, I want you to try to tip the sit bones up. So I'm pulling this end of my hamstring away from the knee end. If you need this stretch, I mean, you'll feel it without me telling you to tip your sit bones up, but if it's not your hamstrings that need the stretch and maybe your calves or maybe the area around your SI joint, it's going to be the act of tipping the pelvis forward that gets you the pull through here you need. If you can't find it still, just shift your weight back a tiny bit. Make sure your back's flat rather than flexed. Okay, so if you established that stretch, now we're just going to come in and out of it with a small squat. So you're going to bend your knees a little. The depth doesn't really matter. I want you to stay pain-free because we're really just focusing on coming back up and finding that stretch again. So you're bending the knees just enough to take it away and then extending, pulling those sit bones up. 3 more times, driving the weight down into your heels, and then lift. And it's fun to visualize your hamstrings getting softer, like you're warming up taffy. It's pulling a little more each time. 1 more, and then up, and then bend them again. Okay. Make a cat stretch from here. Weight stays in your heels, knees stay bent. You're going to tuck your tail round your spine, and then stick your tail out, elongate, lift your chest and chin. Exhale, curl into a C shape, and then roll it back out, lift your chest and chin. 1 more like that, rounding your spine, and then roll it back out. Now, I want you to go into a hip sway side to side. So when I'm going in this direction, I'm letting the hips come wider than the line of the body. And then I want you to start looking over your shoulder at the hip as it swings out to the side, and we'll get a nice side bend going through the spine. Let's do 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Back to the center. Roll yourself up to stand. Okay, now turn your chair around. Okay, so we're trying to build up support in other parts of the body to take pressure away from the knees. So we're going to finish up with a standing series that strengthens all the muscles in the hips that will help you support the knees. Okay, we're going to go into a hinged forward position, getting as close to parallel to the floor as you can. Depending on the height of your chair, it's okay if you're a little higher than that. Now I want your weight on your standing leg over the heel with a slight bend in your knee. You're going to try to square your hips off towards the floor with your toes turned out. I want you to lower that air leg about halfway towards the floor and then lift it back up to hip height. Now, you can hold on to the bar with both hands. That's actually probably advisable. But if you're a super good balancer and you want to stick one hand on your hip, that's a good way to monitor if you're staying still at the pelvis and still in the trunk. We want to activate your glute to lift your leg up and resist bending from your low back. Hold that leg up there. Now I'm going to have you try to keep your thigh at the same height, and I want you to bend your knee and flex your foot. When you come into that curl, you may feel a stretch in the front of your thigh, and then extend your leg again. Bend your knee and reach it away. Pull your heel towards your sit bone and imagine you're dragging your foot through mud. You've got 4 more of those, and 3, 2, finish with it bent. Now, let your knee fall down. You're going to turn your knee out to the side. We're making a clamshell motion and then lowering down. Rotate out and drop back down. As you're turning your knee in and out now, resist the weight of your body shifting to the side. That's really challenging the muscle on your standing leg. Last 2, hold it turned out. Now pull it back a little. Keep your knee in turnout, and you're going to lower and lift it again. The ankle and the knee should feel like they're moving together, so your shin's staying parallel to the floor. 2 more. All right, I got 1 more move for you on this side. Starting with the knee bent again, bring your knee forward to the same side shoulder, and then extend it out straight and bend the knee you're standing on. So I'm going to tuck in with the straighter leg, come lower into the squat as you reach out. Bend, and push away. Try to keep the height of the leg as it reaches back. 4 more times. And 3, 2, and 1. All right, back up to stand. Shake it out a little. All right, let's go down to the other side. So once again, get your hinged forward position and take your time to set that. You want your weight over your heel, little bend in your knee, and then your air leg out straight with your toes turned out. Now lowering, and lifting this leg. Inhale down, exhale up. And we're just going to explore that range of motion, maintaining the turnout at the hip, straight leg, quads active, toes pointed. Hold that leg up. All right, now the hamstring curl. You're bending your knee and reaching out to a pointed toe, pulling in and reach away. Remember, we're being dramatic on this one, really dragging that heel in. Let's do 4 and 3, 2, finish with that knee bend. All right, we're dropping it down. Now, that clamshell, rotate out to the side and back down. Try to isolate the leg going without the hip rotating. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, stay turned out. All right, pull that knee back. So I'm going to maintain my turnout and lower and lift the leg. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, knees come into the shoulder. Draw your knee forward. I want you to kick it out straight. Bend your standing knee. Pull it into the shoulder. Reach it away. Let's do 4 and 3, 2, and 1. All right, come on out of it. Last but not least, stay facing your chair. One leg forward, one leg back. I want you to bend your front knee, and you're going to let your hips sink forward and back into a stretch. All right, so this is just opening up that back hip a little bit. 2 more. I want you to stay leaning forward on this last one. Take your back heel, and you're just going to drop and lift it for a little calf stretch. If you like, you can add a small rotation in and out. And let's do 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and switch legs. All right, same thing on this side. So we're just doing a little shift forward and coming back out of it. And just to tolerance, doesn't have to be a deep knee bend, since after all I was talking about happy knees here. And then drop into it. All right, back heel, lower and lift. Again, just add a little bit of a rotation if you like. And let's do 3, 2, and 1. Come on out of it. All right, my friends, you're all done. Have a lovely day. I'll see you soon.